Let's talk about some awesome crochet patterns that were released in January. Hello everyone, Rochelle here, and I'm back to share some yarn goodness with you all today. Okay, so today we are going to talk about crochet patterns that were released in January, so just about a month or so ago. And these patterns are all going to be free, and either they are available as a free Ravelry download or they're free on the designer's blog. Also, today we are going to be talking about size-inclusive garments. We're going to be talking about accessories and beautiful patterns for the home. So let's go ahead and get started. And of course, as usual, all the links to all of these patterns will be linked below in the description box. All right, so let's start with garments. First, we have the Sorsha Shrug, and it is designed by Untitled Crochet. So this pattern calls for worsted weight yarn, and the bust circumference ranges between 33 to 66 inches, and in centimeters, that is 84 to 168 centimeters. The hook size that it calls for is a USI hook, which is a 5.5 millimeter. And of course, keep in mind that we all have different tension. Our gauges are going to be different, so we might use slightly different hook sizes. But yeah, so just keep that in mind that your tension is going to be a little bit different if you do change crochet hook sizes. And so the skills that you will need to make this garment, let's see, we've got slip stitch, chain, single crochet, double crochet, treble crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet, front post triple or treble crochet, and back post treble crochet. So this pattern has all the crochet stitches you can think of, and it is a great project for sampling different crochet stitches. And what I really like about this pattern are those intricate crochet cables that are on the back. Like, those cables are stunning. I have never made crochet cables before. Have you? Let me know your experience. Okay, so second we have the Hexie Granny Coat, and it is designed by Linda Dean for Cascade Yarns. So this pattern calls for worsted weight yarn, and the bust circumference ranges between 36 to 64 inches, and that is 91 to 163 centimeters. And the hook size that it calls for is a USH, which is a 5 millimeter crochet hook. So some of the skills that you'll need to know is back loop half double crochet, the chain stitch, half double crochet, double crochet, single crochet, and yarn overs. And of course, if you don't know any of these skills, you can always check out YouTube for excellent tutorials on how to make these stitches. And so what I really love about this pattern is that lace detail in the back. I think sometimes with patterns, we're so busy on what the front looks like, but every now and then you'll get a pattern. It's like you look at the back and that's where the interest is. And I think that is so awesome. So beautiful, beautiful design. Let's move on to accessories. All right, so the first one we have for accessories is called Write a Line, Erase a Line. And this is designed by Corinne Purifoy. Sorry in advance. Y'all know I mess up names around here. But this project calls for a sport weight yarn, which is fun. And it comes in one size. I can't believe this project is free. Like, it amazes me sometimes when I see a pattern and it's free and it's so beautiful and so intricate. I'm like, how? But it is a free pattern. And the skills that you will need include magic ring, chain, double crochet, half double crochet, the floret stitch, puff stitches, double crochet 2 together, double crochet 3 together. So that's awesome. And it calls for a USH or a 5 millimeter crochet hook. And what I love about this pattern, just one of the many things I love, is that beautiful lace border. And in reading the pattern, it also talked about how you can add beads. I've never added beads to a project before, so that would be a really, really cool touch to this shawl. The next accessory is the Cherished Super Scarf that is designed by Tanya Bush of Nana's Crafty Home. And so this pattern calls for bulky weight yarn, and the approximate finished size is 12 inches by 110 inches or 30 by 279 centimeters. And so the hook size required for this one is a 9mm, which is either an M or an N hook. And the skills that you will need include chain, double slip stitch, and yarn over. And so what I love so much about this scarf is that built-in armhole. That is so cool. You know, sometimes it's like your scarf wants to slip off your shoulder sometime, but not this one because it has a built-in armhole. And I think that is wonderful. Also, I love the fact that you can wear this scarf as either a scarf or a shawl. So it's kind of like you're getting two patterns in one. All right, so let's see what else I have to share with you all. Okay. Up next, we have the Quantum Leap shawl, and it is designed by Karen Woolley. And so this one calls for fingering weight yarn, and it comes in one size, and the dimensions are 71 inches, that's the wingspan, by 41 inches deep. And so in centimeters, that is 180.5 by 104 centimeters. And that's at the longest point. So this is a really, really big shawl. And the hook size it calls for is a D hook, which is a 3.25 millimeter. And so this shawl, it only requires 2 stitches, and that's the chain stitch and the double crochet. So you got this. And I was really inspired by the name. So as soon as I saw Quantum Leap, the geek in me, the nerd, like I was like, ooh, Quantum Leap. What is the reference? What is the reference? And when I was reading about it, this shawl references the Millennial Falcon. Love it. Yeah. I love Star Wars and a lot of different type of, you know, sci-fi and different things like that. So when I saw that this shawl was in reference to the Millennial Falcon, I just loved it. Yes, good stuff. Okay, so up next we have the Ophelia bow and hair tie, and it is designed by Maria Lena Corafil. The name will be on the screen. And so this calls for a DK weight yarn, and it comes in 2 sizes, small and large. And the hook size that it calls for is a 3 millimeter. So a very, very tiny crochet hook. And so the skills that you will need include chain, half double crochet, slip stitch, and back loop only. And the texture on this hair bow or hair tie is stunning. I think it is a beautiful, beautiful texture. And looking at the skills that are needed, it looks more complicated than it actually is, but this bow is beautiful, and I definitely could see myself wearing it. All right, so up next we have the Ludlow basket bag. Say that 10 times. And that is designed by Alexander Taval of 2 of Wands. And so this calls for a super bulky weight yarn, and it comes in one size, and the length of it is 12.25 inches or 31 centimeters. And so this pattern calls for a J hook, which is a 6.0 millimeter. And the skills you will need include single crochet, half double crochet, slip stitch, and crocheting along a side edge. And so I really like the handle design. Last year I made a crochet purse and I love it, and I would love to make another one this year. I just really like it. It's so chic looking, and I think it looks really, really cool. And so I did want to tell you all what I am wearing. So these lovely fingerless gloves, these are the Easy Fingerless Gloves designed by Alex Delarenga of You Should Craft blog. And so I have an entire video all about these gloves, and they are a free pattern as well. And so I will link the pattern below. And yeah, they're perfect because it's a chilly day today. Yeah, it's a little cold, and I'm the type that like my toes and my fingers, they're like one of the first to get cold, and so I just thought that these would be fun to wear. Let's move on to the next accessory. It is the Heart Infinity Hat and Scarf Set. And it calls for sport weight yarn, and it comes in 2 sizes. It has the small size and the large size. And so the hook that it calls for is a G hook, which is a 4mm. And so the skills you will need to make this set include half double crochet, slip stitch in the back loop only, and the chain stitch. I'm trying to think, when was the last time I done a slip stitch in the back loop? That's kind of neat. And so this pattern uses intarsia crochet, which is a new technique for me to learn. I have never done intarsia crochet, and I am amazed by the people that do these beautiful intricate projects, and I would love to learn how to do intarsia crochet. I think there's some beautiful patterns out there. So yeah, let's move on to another accessory, and it is the Love Struck Heart Bag, designed by Melissa Hassler of Lovable Loops Crochet Designs. And so this calls for an Aran weight yarn, and it comes in 1 size, 12 by 5 inches wide by 12.5 inches tall. So it's a nice square, and in centimeters, it's 36 by 36. And so this calls for an H hook, or 5mm. And the only skills you'll need to know how to do is chain, slip stitch, and single crochet. Very simple, great for beginners. And so the pattern uses tapestry crochet, and that's a new skill for me. So it's amazing. Like, I've been crocheting forever, but there's always new skills for me to learn, like intarsia and tapestry or tapestry crochet. That's amazing. I can always learn. All right, so next up, we have the Emma wrap, designed by the Crocheting Car for Expression Fiber Arts. And so it calls for sport weight yarn, and the size is 70 inches wide by 30 inches height. Yes. And so that is 178 centimeters by 76 centimeters. And those measurements are after it's been blocked. So the hook size it calls for is a G hook, which is a 4mm. And you only need to know 2 stitches. That's the chain stitch and the double crochet. That's it. That's all you need to know. And so I want you all to know that this pattern is available as a free pattern for a limited time. I already went and downloaded my copy, so it's only been out for like a couple of weeks. But just keeping in mind that if you do want this pattern, definitely go ahead and download it from the website before, it's a paid pattern. But right now, it is free. Let's talk about patterns for the home. The first one we have is the Dachshund Blanket, and it is designed by Savannah Price. The yarn weight for this one is an Aran weight yarn, and the pattern comes in 1 size, and that is 34 by 5 inches by 48 inches. And in centimeters, that is 88 by 122. And so the hook size it calls for is an H hook, which is a 5mm. And it only requires 2 stitches. That's chain and double crochet. Y'all can definitely handle 2 stitches. And I love this blanket because I love dogs. I just love animals, but in particular, I love dogs. And this pattern, this blanket is just one long dog. It's so cool. It's a really cool pattern. So I really like it. Okay, so another pattern for the home is the Woodland Blanket that is designed by Tiffany Griffin of Beautiful Dawn Designs. And so this calls for a bulky weight yarn. And it comes in several sizes, ranging from a baby blanket all the way up to a double bed size. And so the size range is going to be between 36 inches by 48 inches, which is 91 by 122 centimeters, all the way to 84 by 90 inches or 213 by 229 centimeters. So this is there's a ton of sizes that it comes in. And so the hook size that it calls for is a K hook, which is a 6.5 millimeter. And the skills you'll need to know include chain, single crochet, half double crochet, and double crochet. And what I really like about this pattern is that it only has one simple repeat. Easy to memorize. I really like that it just has one row repeat. And the texture looks more complicated than it actually is because you're only using basic stitches and it has one row repeat. And you know, don't let it intimidate you. It's, you know, it's not difficult. You got it. I believe in you. The next pattern we have is the Granny Scrapkin, which is designed by Lynn Simon of D60 Crochet. So it calls for DK weight yarn and it comes in one size. So the finished size listed is 54.5 by 48 inches or 138.4 centimeters by 121.9. And so the hook size that it calls for is a G hook, which is a 4 millimeter. And you only need to know how to do the chain, double crochet, and single crochet. And I think this is an excellent scrap busting project. If you're someone like me that has a ton of yarn scraps lying around, this blanket would be perfect for you. Up next, we have the DC All Day Blanket. And it is a rectangle blanket, which is designed by Tanya Bush of Nana's Crafty Home blog. So it calls for Aran weight yarn. And it comes in 4 sizes that range all the way from a baby size to a queen size. And so that size ranges between 32 by 37 inches, which is 81 by 94 centimeters, all the way to 96 by 108 inches, which is 244 by 274 centimeters. So the hook size that it calls for is an H hook, which is a 5 millimeter. And you'll need to know how to do the slip stitch, chain, single crochet, double crochet. That's it. And so another great thing I like about this pattern is that it is a 1 round repeat. It's easy to memorize. I really like that, especially, you know, if you just want to work on something that's kind of soothing to the mind, easy to memorize. Yeah, these are some great blankets for that. So the next one we have is the Mountain Log Cabin Blanket, and it is designed by Divine Debris. So this calls for worsted weight yarn, and it comes in one size. And so the individual squares, each of those is 16 by 16 inches with the border, and that's 41 by 41 centimeters. But the finished blanket with the border, the whole blanket, is 49 by 65 inches, which is 124 by 165 centimeters. And so to make this blanket, you only need to know how to do 3 stitches, and those are chain, single crochet, and single crochet 2 together. And it looks like fun. Log cabin blankets are so cool to me. I just think they are like, they look so fun. And so, yeah, as you all know, I knit and I crochet. And so I've seen a lot of excellent log cabin blankets that are knitted, but I don't know, I hadn't really seen a lot that were crocheted. So when I came across this one, I was really happy that I found it. So what are some new crochet projects that you have found in January? Definitely let me know. Share with the class, and let me know if you would like to make any of the projects that I talked about today, or perhaps you've gone ahead and started on them. I would love to know. Let me know what you worked on while watching, or did you just chill? And definitely leave me a comment. I love reading you all's comments. And yeah, so check out my YouTube community tab. Always asking fun questions there, and I love getting you all's input. And also, if you are interested in a bonus video each month, click that join button below. I would love to have you as a member. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to all those who have given me patterns through my Ravelry Wishlist. I really appreciate you. And until next time, bye.